defensive lines or future offensive operations beyond it. In other news that are very, very difficult for Ukraine, Pentagon is halting on some of the ammunition it had pledged to Ukraine, including PAC-3 Patriot interceptors, 155mm artillery shells, GMLRS rockets, Stingers, AIM-7 missiles, and Hellfire missiles.
All right, Weeb Union, really good stuff. I would highly recommend you guys follow his stuff. Another one is military summary. Both those channels are really good for seeing what is going on in the Ukraine war and how Russia is winning that on a massive scale. So you see here, basically, they're pushing up into an area that is all of Ukraine is getting. They're pushing hard, and once they take Zaporizhia, as you see, they're starting to push. This was occupied by Ukraine for a long time. So they basically crossed the Dnieper River. And once they did that, that was a turning point. And they've done that all the way up and down the line. So Zaporizhia is a major supply base. And once Zaporizhia is taken, it's going to be very easy for them to go down all the way into the port city of Odessa and take that over. And once they've taken that over, probably 50 to 60% of the supplies that come into Russia or into Ukraine are going to be stopped. So Russia's already said that they're going to basically, all of Ukraine is going to be theirs. So that will happen. I said that that Russia will take all of this. So that's moving very rapidly now. Everything's collapsing there. People that don't understand that, and because of that, they have silly ideas that Ukraine, because they're told this by certain people, that Ukraine is good, and so they should support Ukraine, and they get pretty much brainwashed by that. And no, Ukraine is basically a Nazi bastion, and the NATO countries are Nazi bastions too. The Nazis basically came in a long time ago and took over a lot of those countries. Yeah, Russia is full tilt boogie. So they're going at it. They're basically going to take it down big time. All right. So let's move into let's give a little broad stroke of what's going on in the world. Look at the stock market. Stock market is going to continue probably to go up and creep on up. The wall of worry. Stock market loves the wall of worry. Now I'm going to show you guys. Now crypto has had it went up a little bit today. It went up. I don't know if it hit a new high. Bitcoin, that is. XRP, Ethereum, a lot of these got a big pump today or yesterday, last night, whatever. So they're up. Now, futures, as you guys can see, are up for the stock market. What did the stock market do today? Yesterday, the Dow was up big. Now it's down a little bit. Yesterday, the NASDAQ was down big. Now it's up big. So we're going to see this back and forth as they basically squeeze out the last of the shorts and so forth out of the stock market. The last of the people that thought that the stock market was going down, and when they get a lot of people thinking the stock market can only go up again, that's when they're going to pull the rug pull, and then a lot of people are going to lose a lot of money. So let's look at silver. You guys know that I've been jumping up and down on silver for years. Now I want you guys to look at 1 year. Silver's up about 19% year to date. That's from January to date. It's up 25%. Massive. I think it's going to be up 50, 75% before the year's over. So will your crypto go up that much? Highly doubtful. Will the stock market go up that much? Well, let's look. Let's look and see what the stock market has done like silver. I hold silver, right? So stock market today down a little bit, as you guys can see. Now look at that 1 year, 13, and year to date only 4%. That's the Dow, right? Remember, year to date, silver's up 25%, and what was it, like 19%? I think it was something around there, 18, 19% for the year out. That's a big difference, isn't it? So all you guys that are invested in the stock market, maybe long term, it's been working out for you, but short term, everybody's like jumping up and down. Look at my gains, especially if you're in the S&P. The S&P is up a whole 12%, right? Year to date, 5%. Now remember, keep remembering, you know, silver's up 25% year to date. That's a lot more than 5%. I don't know how you guys are in math, but now the NASDAQ, everybody's like the NASDAQ always rocks it. Yeah, they do a bit better. So year to date, 5%. 1 year out, 12%. Not as good. Not as good as the 18.9%, and then the 25%, of course. So 5 times better return on silver year to date. Now, a lot of you are like, oh, it's too high. It's too high to buy now. If you'd bought it back in just a few, like 6 months ago, we're like, can you believe we're already 6 months through the year? We're halfway through the year, over halfway now. So it's crazy. But if you bought, beginning of the year, let's go back in time. Let's see. 6 months ago, what was silver? Well, at its low, silver was, that can't be right. Oh, that's NASDAQ, sorry. So NASDAQ was really low 6 months ago. Really low. It crashed, remember? I think it was like 20, 25%. So I got to go back to silver. Silver, let's go. All right, let's pump this to 6 months. 6 months. All right, can you guys see that? All right, so when the stock market crashed, silver crashed along with it. And as you guys can see, it came back strong, a lot stronger than the stock market. So you did have the opportunity to buy silver at below $30. Below 30. Now it's at 36, getting ready to go to 40. So you could have made a nice little chunk. I got a little bit more at 29. So I know a bargain when I see it. So at the beginning of the year, what was it? 30. So now it's up, 25%. 25% from the beginning of the year, 30. You could have had it at 30. And now it's at 36, almost 37, going to 40, and then 50, and then 60, then 70, I think, before the end of the year. So that's a lot more. We're looking at probably, we're looking at about 100%. You're not going to see that in the stock market. I don't care how high it goes. And it could very, very well go very high from where it's at right now, but you're not going to see that kind of return from the stock market at all. So if you guys, I keep telling you to at least get some of your, and it's easy to do, the IRA, and we got the guy, Dr. Elliott, free counseling if you need it, and they can do those transfers for you, or whatever you have invested in. They can help you turn at least a percentage of that, your gains. So you don't have gains unless you realize those gains. So realizing those gains and putting some of that realized gain into silver, like I've been doing, in my silver investment, is magnificent. And I hope you guys are saying the same thing. My silver investment, thanks to you, Mike, is magnificent. Right? So, but it still can be. So don't give up. And if you can only buy a little bit, buy a little bit. But if you can buy a lot, or you have a retirement account, get invested in silver. All right, so you guys know that I've been saying we're going to have a pretty tough year weather-wise. It's happening all over the world right now. Crazy flooding in China right now. India's having crazy flooding. They're just getting started. They started getting flooded before the monsoon even started, right? So we're seeing crazy weather. We just saw some power lines get blown down in Las Vegas. A lot of people saying I've never seen that in my life. Of course, because the weather's going to get wanky. You you Aussies know what I'm talking about when I say wanky. Right? So, and you Brits will too. So let's look at what's going on with weather and short term.
For you guys coming up as well. We're going to get right into it. I'm going to bring up the GFS model. We're going to look over the next couple of days. We're going to talk about what's going to be happening here off of Florida's East Coast, and then we'll get into the extended forecast and what I think is ultimately going to happen out of this. We'll look at the European model as well. So again, this boundary begins to slip into the peninsula of Florida tonight and through Thursday. It's going to stall out, and along that boundary, we're going to start to see some mid to low level rotation potentially beginning to develop. You can see that now even a little bit more defined on the GFS model. Remember yesterday, it was the GFS model that was actually backing off of any development. The European model was a lot more robust. Now they're becoming a little bit more, in line with this 40% chance for the National Hurricane Center. I want to be clear. Again, this is 4th of July weekend in the United States, and the Southeast Coast and the Florida beaches on the East Coast in general are absolutely packed. If you have plans, again, I never give specific vacation advice, but you need to be aware that we are going to have a much better chance than normal of just our typical summer showers and thunderstorms in the afternoon and a lot of wind along the East Coast. It's not going to be great for the boaters. It's not going to be great for the beach goers as well. 80-90% chance of rain starting tomorrow through the 4th of July and the weekend, and a lot of wind being picked up with this as well. We'll also see high rain chances for the Northwest Bahamas, Nassau, New Providence, and the Andros and Eleuthera areas included. But you get to Abaco, just farther north, Saturday, especially Sunday and into Monday, in that 48-hour period, we start to see a little bit more in the way of things wrapping up. We'll go back to that in just a minute, but I want to get back to the rest of the forecast here across our area over the next 3 days. So we'll go back over to the chances, especially Nicaragua, central and northern sides of Honduras. This could certainly sneak towards the Bay Islands, coastal Guatemala. Improves rain chances for St. Lucia and SVG. Let me be.
All right, so what you're seeing is basically it's starting to get wet. Now, the thing that is keeping it from getting hurricanes at this point, it's one of the slowest start-offs to hurricane season, I guess, in a long time, if not ever, is because we have dust, sand that's coming from Africa. It's blowing over, and that keeps it knocked down. That's going to stop, and then things are going to get really bad, right? Really, really bad. And so I said there could be some kind of storm that's going to hit the East Coast of the United States. I mean, when I say East Coast, I'm talking like, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, or Virginia, around in that area. Something that was going to go across all of Florida. Now we're seeing something like that right now that's basically making Florida very, very wet. And I think that's just getting everything really wet. So when the hurricanes come in, they're going to be really, really bad, right? And they're going to probably go up and, hammer all the way up through Florida. Probably a couple, 2, 3 really heavy-duty storms in Florida. One around Louisiana area. Another one is going to hit, I think, Texas. So we'll see. Like you're looking at right now, so I don't see anything, Mike. So, yep, it's kind of the way it works for me, right? Everybody doubts me, and then they don't when it actually happens, and then they're like, "Well, what else is next?" It's like, use your own intuition sometime, and maybe you can figure it out. But I know it was like when I was in the SEAL teams. I would share some of the stuff, and guys would like, whatever. And it's kind of like when I would go to someplace and learn a new shooting skill, and I come back, this is so much better. Watch, look at this, and they'd be like, yeah, you're pretty good, but we got some good stuff too. And then eventually, after they continue to see me do great and diving and climbing and shooting and breaching, blowing stuff up, they're like, we want to know what you know, Mike. And I was like, took you guys a long time. You guys a very long time. It's kind of like the way I feel with people when they say, I don't believe in past lives. I was like, well, maybe in 100 lifetimes from now, you'll look back and you'll say, God, I should have listened to that guy. Could have done so much better. Maybe I wouldn't have had all these stupid lives. But, you know, this is kind of the way it is. People learn at their own pace, right? So I can help you only so much. You have to help yourself at some point and start to use your own brain noggin, you little cabeza. All right, so let's look at some other things that are going on. There's lots. There's so much every day. Some days when I don't come on right at 5, it's like because it's like now flood it so Mike can go on time. So it's like, God, look at all this stuff. Whoa, 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 whoa. And it's crazy. So yeah, Tammy Bruce, loved her when she was on Fox. She was on Fox for 20 years. I think she's fantastic. I'm glad Trump brought her in the State Department. I watched the State Department when I worked in the CIA, and I was like, that State Department is, of course, Hillary Clinton was in charge of the State Department too at one point. So you know how screwed up it must have been. And it didn't get much better. And when she left. So now President Trump is trying to clean that up. And he has Tammy Bruce in there. Man, like I said, fantastic for 20 years on Fox. Very knowledgeable. And she's doing a great job. Look at what she's saying.
Billions and billions of dollars that we spend on aid get to where it is meant to go. There is nothing to be proud of when 90%, according to Samantha Powers, is not even making it to the people to whom it was promised. These are promises. Donald Trump makes promises and he keeps them. Promises made, promises kept. We will be doing that also.
So, where is all that aid been going? CIA, deep state, and Democrats, and some Republicans. Where has all that other 90% been going? Wow, that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. I saw that stuff going other places when I was, it's like, and they're like, well, why didn't you do anything about it? Are you kidding me? I saw people that would speak out and they were like gone so quick. I was like, well, I'll make this party last as long as I can, and maybe make as much impact and learn as much as I can about this party, and then I'll share it with others, and that's what I'm doing. So it's pretty rough out there, and a lot of those places, a lot of those people want to reveal, but it's very life threatening. It's career damaging, as you can probably imagine, and if you like that line of work, you'll never do it again, right? Because they will destroy your credibility. They'll attack you in all kind of different ways. They'll take your money all kind of different ways, and they'll ruin you all kind of different ways. So, who wants to speak out now, right? Now that I've let you guys, so some of you guys are like going to learn the hard way, like I did. I knew that I was coming, but sometimes you're like, F it. I gotta reveal. My whole life has been about humanity, helping humanity, and I got a lot of good things. I got to stay around a lot longer because I was ready to share. So normally I would have been taken out. So P. Diddy, of course, you ladies out there, I'm sure you're really, really frustrated that this guy is probably gonna walk free. Let Megyn Kelly speak for you.
Here's a little bit more. New York Times. With a touch of levity, the judge said he assumed Combs would not want to return to the Brooklyn jail where he has been held. Combs shook his head vigorously and put his hands together in prayer. Oh, it's all just so chummy inside the courtroom for this disgusting pervert female abuser who I can't believe is about to roam our streets again. I'm sorry, I'm disgusted by this verdict. This is fucking ridiculous. I just find it absolutely outrageous, the amount of crime that this guy just got away with. I believe he committed arson. He definitely battered Cassie. He battered Jane too. The statute of limitations for battery in Los Angeles, California is 1 year. 1 year. So if they didn't charge him for battery within 1 year, and they couldn't because he bought the tape and it remained hidden thanks to those security guards out there, then they could never charge him with that again. There's no question. He dragged her back into that hotel room. Why wasn't that kidnapping? They only talked about the kidnapping of Capricorn Clark, who was his sort of main assistant, because she said he grabbed her and made her go with him over to Kid Cudi's house. There's no question he broke into Kid Cudi's house, in my view, and that he opened up the Christmas presents and locked the door in and made a threat. There's no question in my mind he was behind the arson of Kid Cudi's car, and there was proof, plenty of proof to prove that. No, okay, there was female fingerprints they found on that, the firebomb that was left there, the Molotov cocktail. And the prosecution said there's no question he didn't do it himself, but he said, I'm going to bomb Kid Cudi's car. It's in writing. Cassie Ventura emailed her mother saying, oh my God.
All right. So no justice, no justice, right? So you lady, maybe it's time for you to rise up about this. Like Megan, she's basically, did she really say the F word? She did. And you saw those guys are like, ooh. So get fired up, and let's start to change this world, change this, definitely our country, because we're showing the world how to do it right. Yeah, it's insane. It's insane that that's happening, but you could predict it. It was pretty easy. Now, we talked about the stock market going up, and it keeps going up while everything else is collapsing except for silver. Right? So I don't understand. How everything can collapse. Well, we saw it in 2008, 2009, right? And we're going to see it again. It's already taking shape. It's already happening. Now, one thing I like is that everything is being changed. Everything's being exposed. So the Democrats and the most Democrat, bluest of blue states and areas, Los Angeles, right? They got burned. Literally got burned, right? And now they're changing their tunes. So let's look at the collapse of real estate that's happening in California. I reported on that yesterday. Prices are collapsing. And it's no surprise when you have this level of stupidity that's running California.
Malibu, because I realize we're right about the 6-month anniversary of destruction, and nothing is going on over there. They cleared all the sites, have been cleared of debris.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's something I didn't really think about that people need to kind of think about. And I think we married some of the visual stuff to my prediction from my hotel room the morning after. But trying to pull permits when the guys in the Winnebagos will have been back for months.
Homeless.
Months before those guys ever get a permit. As a matter of fact, good fucking luck. Because here's the deal. Alan Hamill and Suzanne Summers moved because they could not get a permit to rebuild their home of 40 years on the ocean on PCH, right? So here's what's going to happen. Let me just give you guys a little primer of what's going to happen. You know how Bill Maher seems real conservative now when he's like arguing with James Biden?
So Adam Carolla was correct in his prediction that these Democrats are going to get burned. The most heavily Democrat area in the country, and they have a lot of money, and they've been helping to rig the system for a long time, and now they're getting burned. And listen, what Adam Carolla said. This was back, right after things got burned. So they've cleared, as you guys can see, they've cleared a lot of these sites that were burned. You're going to see video of this as it goes along, and he's going to talk about how this was 6 months ago. He was saying this, but this is a current video that's running. So all these Democrats that wanted their Democrat, representation are learning the hard way. This is what I've been talking about for years. The Democrat Party is going to go away, and when no one votes for Democrats anymore, it goes away. right? So, and that's coming.
Like strangling everything. Because remember, when Bill Maher tried to put solar in his house in Beverly Hills, that's when he turned against the government. Because he saw what the government and the overreach of government and overregulation does. He got strangled. It took him 3 years to build a solar shack. He had a whole countdown on his show, day 1,000 since I've got my permit for my solar. He turned. Okay. The people who live in Malibu, who live in Santa Monica, who live in the Palisades, those are some of the most progressive blue voters in the world or in the United States. They are a bastion of blue. So what those guys did is all the people in the Palisades, I checked it out. It's about 80% blue, 80% progressive, 80% Democrat. Now, these pussies are all sitting around crying about Karen Bass, water pressure. How come the forest wasn't cleared of all the brush? What's happening with the infrastructure? You guys all voted for Karen Bass, the mayor of Los Angeles. You all voted for Gavin Newsom. And now you fucking get what you get. Oh, now that your house is on fire, well, now you're thinking about something else. Now you want to know what's going on. What's going on around here? You didn't give a shit about what was going on when other people's houses were on fire, but now you care. So here's what's going to happen. All these people who are deep blue Democrats are now going to have to pull a permit to rebuild. And they're going to get the 28-year-old bitch from the Coastal Commission telling them to go fuck off. And then they're going to vote for Trump or whoever's Trumpian next. You see, they're going to get turned. They're going to get turned hard because, as I've always said, live in the rent control apartment in Santa Monica, fine, good. We know how you vote. Go deal with the city. Try to pull a permit. These are going to be thousands of homes, super wealthy people, and these people don't want to live in Van Nuys. They like it where they are. They love Malibu. They love the Palisades. They love Santa Monica. There's going to be a whole bunch of rich people, and they're going to go, I'm rebuilding, and I want to rebuild as fast as I can. And between the part where they go in to planning commission and plan check and initially try to pull a permit to the time the first load of lumber, the first load of 2x4s is dropped off on their lot where their house formerly stood, it's going to be 3 years. And 1,000 permits and 1,000 arguments and 1,000 discussions with the Coastal Commission. When they start getting the regulation, they're going to go nuts. And when they start running into the bureaucracy and the red tape, they're going to start going nuts, and they're going to vote for Rick Caruso next time because they want to give. That's all Trump says is we're going to pull back the regulations. We're going to free people up. They're going to find out. They're going to get bit by their own snake. They are going to convert. I am telling you, these are the bluest people on the planet, and they're going to be fucking rip shit pissed when the city and the Coastal Commission tell them to fuck off. And by the way, I don't think the Coastal Commission is going to okay anyone rebuilding any of their houses on the coast because they say they're in the business of protecting the coast. They're in the business of getting you to leave. They will get their wish, which is no buildings. And they're going to make it hard for everyone. And then we're going to have to restructure the whole thing because we can't have 9 angry lesbians controlling everything.
All right. So, yeah, that's he predicted that. And, of course, that's what's happened. Now, there's very interesting parallels with what happened in Lahaina. So, another deep state blue, very blue. Hawaii is very, very blue. Lahaina, very blue. So the same people that spent, hundreds of millions of dollars to clear Lahaina along the beach, they still haven't been able to build. And how long has that been? Like a year and a half, 2 years, going on 2 years now? Still. So you people of California, you're going to wait a long time, right? You can bitch all you want, but it ain't going to happen until you take some of those people out of there and get some people in there who actually will do the right thing. So it's coming to that. Maybe when we have this next election cycle, maybe you can make things right. If there's still corruption in that voting system, you got to get active, not just in the vote, but you got to get active in making sure your election systems are cleared and actively preventing fraud as well, guys. All right. So we've been talking about this stuff for years. And it's gonna continue. So the same people that got paid all those hundreds of millions of dollars to come in and clean, like 1.5 million per lot in Lahaina, that same company that is doing the cleaning in Lahaina and taking their sweet ass time is doing the same thing in California. Wow. Their corruption runs deep in the big blue cities, guys, and in the big blue states, right? So they're stealing the money, just like they stole the money from what we give to other countries. 90% of it gone. 90% of it. 90. That's billions and billions of dollars gone. And now the State Department is like, we're not gonna like do that anymore. Like, okay, can you go back and find out who stole all that money? Hillary Clinton and people like her. And they probably can, but will those people stand trial and see justice? Not if it happens in Manhattan, right? And like I said, Hillary Clinton is a New Yorker, so not going to happen. Not going to happen, guys. She and Billy Bob left Arkansas because the Arkansasians they saw through their bullshit. So whenever there was an election, there was 70% of people voted against them in Arkansas. Voted against them. Of course, Hillary Clinton didn't get voted for or anything on a massive political scale. But for Bill Clinton, every time that the 2 times that he ran for, and of course, when he was the governor of Arkansas, he won. Blue Arkansas, not so much anymore. It's Republican now. So they cheated the vote. Of course, they're running drugs through Mena Airport when Bill Clinton was there. So they made sure that he was there as governor, and then they made sure he was there as the president twice. When how much corruption was? Well, we know it was corruption. So it's going to continue. Thanks, Tron Master. So it's gonna continue, and until we clean up the voting system, guys, until the Dem Party as a whole is completely gone. And most of the Republican Party is cleaned out. Most of it. They're just as corrupt. We know that. All right. So you guys know that I was talking about how we have possible civil war happening right now in Iran, but it's coming for, I think, in European cities as well. Right. And there's one professor in the UK who's sounding the alarm. So let's look at it. So here we go. Professor warns UK government is preparing for civil war using Russian invasion threat as cover. So they're hardening a lot of their infrastructure as if there's going to be war with Russia. There's not going to be war with Russia. Russia doesn't care about the UK. And unless UK, does something stupid and tries to nuke Russia, then they'll nuke the hell out of UK. But other than that, they don't have there's no threat. So all they want is to take Ukraine, because Ukraine is full of Nazis and they got to clean them out because they keep killing innocent Russian citizens, or Russian speakers, like they were doing in the Donbass area of Ukraine. And then they had the election stolen from a good Ukrainian, and John McCain and the deep state came in and basically stole their election through a color revolution there in Ukraine, and put in a little puppet for the Nazis of NATO. So now we're seeing that taken back. And does the UK think they're going to come all the way across Europe and then invade like the Nazis were going to do at one point? The Germans? Yeah, whatever. It's not going to happen. So they're hardening. They're using that as an excuse to get ready to maintain their control. So they're coming after people that are pushing back on illegal aliens. This is going to cause a revolution, a civil war, right? Just like those leftists there that we just talked about in LA, they're going to learn the hard way, right? It's going to be the same thing for the leftists, probably in the UK. If they don't wake up, they don't get with the program of getting rid of the people that are here to basically take over the UK and push them out, like we were seeing they were trying to do that in the United States. We were like, F that, freeze that border up, President Trump, good job. They haven't been able to stop that in Europe. It's still coming. They've been able to slow it down through some people because it was getting so much pushback from the people. And now if anyone, objects online, they come and arrest them, literally come and arrest people and put them in prison for objecting to the illegal aliens being funneled into the country. Unbelievable. So it's pretty much a given that there's going to be a take back in the UK, right? Those people, Gay Starmer, basically is going to be taken out one way or the other. One way or another. So Diddy likely to be sentenced to months, not years, over prostitution conviction, expert says. Hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs is likely to serve months, not years, behind bars because we have a corrupt judicial system in Manhattan. And we have corrupt judicial systems around the world that are allowing the takeover of our beautiful countries, right? And we have to push back. So think of all those people that we're like, he's going to prison forever. And then all the people that went to his parties, we're going to find out who they were, and they're going to prison forever too. Diddy ain't even going to prison forever. All right. So you're not going to convict these people without a good judicial system, guys. So this is in our face, not my face. I've been saying this for years. And I've been hammering this for the last several months. The judicial system has to be cleaned out. Until it is, we're going to continue to see this kind of stuff. So there was lots of information that came. Of course, James Comey's daughter was on the prosecution team. I think she might have had some kind of say in how this got screwed up. I think so. It's so could be a distraction. Yeah, I see the chat. Yeah. So it's a possibility. Could be just a distraction. It's going to get cleaned up. It's going to get righted. It's possible. All right. Is Diddy going to be retried for those crimes? No, it doesn't happen that way, guys. Once you, that's one of the things they want. They wanted to get him in there, get him tried. They're probably telling him, don't worry. We're going to make this right. Because if we don't make it right for you, they're coming after us. So we got to stop the line at you, right? We're going to make you somewhat of a patsy, but you won't get shot, so don't worry about that. But you'll be able to walk free, right? And we'll make you famous again. We'll even make you famous again. You'll be having parties again, and we'll be sending people to you again, just like we had before. You'll be videoing them and get all the information we need on those people, so we can, make money off them, and corrupt them, and make them do what we want them to do, so that we maintain power. So that's the way this works, guys. Not only does it work that way for a person like P. Diddy, or you look at Jeffrey Epstein. You look at going back even further. You look at Hugh Hefner. So this has been going on for a long time. It's being exposed. But some people don't want to. It's like, no, I just like the Playboy Mansion. Even some of the Playboy bunnies that pose and all that kind of stuff. I've seen them on other shows, and they're like, I never saw anything wrong. That was part of the subterfuge. So they will have this facade of good and as good as can be, and then in the background they're doing outright evil. And that's what, you know, P. Diddy was doing. We were exposing that for years and years and years. Then finally they did a sting operation. Now, was that sting operation to control the information so that it wouldn't get exposed to the level that it should be? So that he could go through a trial and they could just like say, oh, yeah, he was a bad boy. He took some people to, you know, he paid him some money, and because he's rich, he can do whatever he wants to do. Anyone who's rich can do whatever they want. It's okay. And then they had a bunch of men on that jury. They're like, yeah, he's just a playboy. You know, he kicked that girl. Maybe one or two of those guys, you know, was paid off. Right. So, yeah, that happens. You know that. It's been happening for a long time. So, Manhattan, the most corrupt judicial system in America. And it's a blue state. It's a blue city. It's same thing in California. So they're learning. They're finding out the hard way. They're finding out the hard way in Lahaina, right? You go blue, you get effed, right? Hard, right? Bad. So go blue. Go ahead. You go blue. Let's see how that works out for you. Keep it up. Keep it up. You're gonna find out, right? They're gonna burn you out of your house. They're gonna send in illegal aliens to like roam the streets. They're gonna like make people homeless and let them live in the streets and shit all over the streets. And you could find out. Go ahead. It's been happening all over the place. We've been reporting it, but it's not my city. Not my city. Well, it's coming. You keep voting Dem. You keep voting blue. You're gonna find out the hard way. All right. All right, guys. Lots of love, experience. Yes, that's right. Leslie is the best teacher. So we have a lot of people that need to experience that, and that's why I predict ruin for many blue cities. All right, big blue cities like Atlanta, like probably Houston, like I don't know about I don't think Dallas, maybe Dallas, but definitely Austin. So and New York, of course. Chicago, the Windy City, it's going to burn, and the wind will blow it all over the place. And then same thing in San Francisco, LA. We'll just build walls around those cities and let them burn. Let them burn, right? Like that. Remember that one World War II movie where they went in, they were like assaulting the beach. The Germans are like shooting them all up, and what was that? Tom Hanks movie. Of course, Tom Hanks is bad. We found out the hard way. But what was that movie? Anyway, so they assaulted the beach. They got all shot up by the Germans, and then they went up with a flamethrower, and they did flamethrower on the pillbox where they're shooting, and the Germans, were on fire, and they're like out, and people are like, shoot them so they won't suffer. And then the GIs are on the beach. Are like, let them burn. Dim cities, I'm going to let you burn. All right. Much respect and love from Australia. Thank you, Kim, and all the other places in the world where you guys watch. Don't let your city burn. All right. Wisen up. Get those leftists out of there before it's too late. All right. But some people got to learn the hard way. Right. Like I talked about, there's a lot of them out there. Even some of my old SEAL buddies, they had to learn the hard way. So it's okay. We'll let them. So yeah, that's right. They won't need water. They won't have water because they cut the water off, right, in LA, so that cities would burn. Let it burn. Let it burn. So they do it yourself. You're doing it to yourselves. Don't blame Mike that I bring it to your attention. It's not my fault. Don't shoot the messenger. Right. Right, guys. Stay in love vibration. I know a lot of you guys are in that love vibration. That's going to keep you safe. Going to keep you, healthy, wealthy, and wise. Right. Keep it up.